what happened to Dexter Lawrence in 2025? Just 1 year removed from a dominant stretch that saw him stack up 3 straight Pro Bowl seasons from 2022 to 2024, something in 2025 just felt off. Coming back from that elbow injury that he had that ended his 2024 season. Now, this upcoming 2026 season is not a make or break season for Dexter Lawrence, but it is a prove it bounce back year because if Big Dex returns to his 2022 through 2024 form, the New York Giants defense becomes terrifying. And if he doesn't, he may be having a very uncomfortable conversation about what his future is in 2027. Let's talk about it. From 2022 through 2024, Dexter Lawrence is one of the most dominant interior defensive linemen in the NFL. In 2024, before his season was cut short, he had 9 sacks through 12 games. 9 from an interior defensive line position. He was wrecking protections, collapsing pockets, making life miserable for quarterbacks. He wasn't just good, he was game-altering. And when you're paying a defensive tackle near like $27 million a season in 2026, that's the level of impact you're expecting. Opponents feared him, and more importantly, they respected him. Now, here's the part that gets a little tricky. In 2025, he played in all 17 games. There was no major injury excuses. There was a ramp-up period when the season started that they were rotating him a lot more to get him back into game speed after a full offseason of rehabbing and not really being in game shape, in quotes. That was said multiple times with him. And he could have used his elbow as an excuse, but kudos to him because he didn't. And I respect that because it's leadership. But on tape, something else felt different. His burst wasn't the same. The anchor in the run game didn't look as dominant. The interior run defense overall for the Giants, combining Micah McFadden getting hurt very early on in the season and an aging Bobby Okereke, was overall horrendous. And when the middle of your defense is leaking yards or your Pro Bowl defensive tackle can't do anything about it, he has to carry some accountability. And it doesn't mean he was really overall bad. It just really wasn't what we saw. He wasn't at his peak. He wasn't breaking up double teams. And when you've shown you could be elite, the standard changes, especially for a guy like Dexter Lawrence. Now, the defense is entering a new era under John Harbaugh and defensive coordinator Denard Wilson. There's a new tone, a new accountability, a new culture, and the edge rushers are coming into form. Brian Burns is coming off an all-pro caliber 2025 season. Abdul Carter will be entering his sophomore season with sky-high expectations. Now imagine this, Dexter Lawrence back to his form, collapsing pockets from the inside. This will allow Burns to get more one-on-ones, Carter to get cleaner lanes. The entire defense is leveled up. Interior pressure is the hardest thing to block in football. If Big Dex commands double teams again, the pass rush becomes one of the most dangerous units in the league. And if he doesn't, teams slide protection outside, Burns sees more chips, Carter's development slows. It's all intertwined and connected. Now let's talk about the money. Dexter Lawrence is set to make $27 million this upcoming season. That's franchise cornerstone money, very much on the high end of interior defensive linemen. But here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud. In 2027, his dead cap drops to under $7 million. That means financially, the Giants could move on. Trade rumors have been floating around with Dexter Lawrence's name. And just for the crosstown team, the New York Jets, they moved on from Quinnen Williams this previous season for draft capital. So I wouldn't really rule it out of the realm of something that could happen. I really hope it doesn't because I love Dexter. I think he's a cornerstone of this franchise and a veteran leader on this team. But with a new coach like John Harbaugh, a guy who does value defensive leadership, then the question becomes, is Dexter Lawrence part of the long-term core, or is this, part of the previous Dable regime? Here's why I believe in a comeback. He didn't make excuses. 2, he's still in his prime. 3, he's shown elite production before for a very long period of time, season over season. 4, new coaching energy matters. Sometimes veterans need a reset. It's a new voice, new schemes, new accountability. And let's be honest, the Giants need him because this defense cannot afford a soft interior. If Big Dex sets the tone physically again, it changes everything. Now again, this is not make or break, but it is his legacy defining for his Giants career. If Dexter Lawrence returns to the Pro Bowl in 2026, this means that the Giants defense will probably be playoff caliber. Birds and Carter should feast. The run defense also stabilizes, and his contract looks justified. And if it doesn't, then 2027 becomes a very real crossroads. And that's just the business of the NFL. So what do you think? Is Dexter Lawrence due for a monster comeback season, or is 2025 the beginning of a decline? Comment below, and if you're riding with Big Dex like me in 2026, please hit the like button, because this season might define the entire direction of the New York Giants defense for the future during John Harbaugh's tenure. Thanks for watching.